On today's edition of the Rockbridge Report, criticism of President-elect Donald Trump did not end November 8th. We've got the story on the latest hurdles the businessman turned president faces.
And a local business is making the jump from the county into downtown Lexington. More on how they plan the move next.
44 degrees now with more winter weather coming up. Stay tuned for the full forecast.
And later, it's deer hunting season in Virginia, and wildlife are moving into some unexpected and possibly dangerous spots. All that and more coming up next on the Rockbridge Report.
Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County. This is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Catherine Young.
And I'm Rosella Gabriel.
Breaking news from Ohio. Former astronaut and United States Senator John Glenn has died. He was 95. Glenn became a national hero in 1962 as the first American to orbit the Earth. Glenn then spent 24 years as a Democratic senator for Ohio and briefly made a run for president in 1984. He returned to space in 1998 at age 77 aboard Space Shuttle Discovery. He was the last survivor of the original Mercury 7 astronauts.
Two Democratic electors from Colorado are trying to block President-elect Donald Trump from taking office next month. They filed a federal lawsuit Tuesday claiming they should be able to vote their conscience. The electors claim state law requiring electors to support the winner of the state's popular vote is unconstitutional. They are hoping to influence members of the Electoral College, which is set to vote on Monday. One of the electors explained why she filed the lawsuit.
I'm really motivated by making sure that Mr. Trump does not become president, because I see him as a real danger to our democracy and to our country.
And the Colorado electors are not alone. One Texas elector has made his opposition to Trump clear and plans to vote for a different candidate on December 19th.
I'm looking for someone with broad-based legislative and executive experience, somebody who can understand that the office of president can't attack the Constitution, can't attack journalists because he doesn't like what they publish. Someone who understands he can't pick on companies because he doesn't like how they do business. There's a way we have conversations.
And more criticism rolls in for Trump after he took credit for saving 1,100 jobs at Carrier plant in Indiana. Here's CNN's Yasmin Amer.
President-elect and now Time Magazine's Person of the Year, Donald Trump says he's sticking true to his promise to energize the economy.
The stock market has had a tremendous bounce, and people are seeing very good things for business in this country.
This comes after Trump took credit for saving 1,100 Carrier jobs from moving to Mexico. Turns out the real number of jobs saved is 800. Chuck Jones, president of the United Steelworkers 1999 union, is grateful for Trump's action, but he took issue with him fudging the numbers.
If you're dealing with people's livelihoods, you sure as the world ought to know what the numbers are.
Carrier confirms that it never planned to move 300 of the jobs Trump mentioned in research and development. In an extraordinary move, Trump attacked Jones, tweeting, quote, "He has done a terrible job representing workers. No wonder companies flee the country." Trump is already promising to cut more business deals. One big announcement Wednesday, Linda McMahon to head the Small Business Administration. The former World Wrestling Entertainment CEO has previously criticized Trump for his disparaging comments about women, but she later donated $6 million to one of his super PACs. Trump also appointed Oklahoma Attorney General Scott Pruitt to head the EPA. Pruitt has previously sued the EPA and is a climate science denier. His appointment could signal fewer regulations on businesses in the energy sector. I'm Yasmin Amer reporting.
Two teens have been charged with starting the eastern Tennessee wildfires that killed 14 people and damaged or destroyed more than 2,000 homes and businesses. CNN's Paulo Sandoval reports.
Two juveniles charged with aggravated arson in connection with the deadly wildfires in East Tennessee.
Oh my God, it's so hot.
This is crazy.
Officials blaming the teens for the ferocious fires that killed 14 people and injured 175 others.
All options available to the state when dealing with juveniles are on the table, including the possibility of seeking a transfer of these juveniles to adult criminal court.
Thousands of homes and businesses damaged, with tens of thousands forced to evacuate from the largest wildfires to hit Tennessee in a century.
They should pay for the loss of all the loved ones that we have lost.
Tried as juveniles, the punishment will not fit the crime. They've destroyed families and lives and businesses and a community that has been here forever.
The charge is coming as residents begin to return home, surveying the damage.
We're not alone down here. We take care of each other as people.
We just feel that we have been protected by God.
For the families of those who perished, their loss is unspeakable. 70-year-old Alice Hagler lost her life trapped in her home by the flames.
She was one of those ladies that just loved people. She never found anybody she wasn't willing to talk to. She had a lot of love in her heart. We asked for prayers for the people that are still trying to figure out how to put this thing all back together.
The two teens will have a bond hearing in the next 72 hours and could be transferred to criminal court if prosecutors move to try them as adults.
And in Indonesia, there is a small sliver of hope after a devastating earthquake rocked the northern tip of Sumatra. Search and rescue teams were able to pull a man out from underneath the rubble after he was trapped for over 11 hours. Rescuers in Indonesia continue to desperately search for survivors after Wednesday's powerful earthquake. The 6.5 magnitude tremor struck Aceh province just as people were preparing for morning prayers. Officials say it killed at least 102 people, including young children.
Here in Rockbridge County, local law enforcement officials say a mental health assessment center that opened at Lexington's Stonewall Jackson Hospital 2 months ago has already benefited officers and residents in Rockbridge and Bath counties. The center is part of the Crisis Intervention Team program and allows officers to take custody of individuals in mental health crises and place them in more appropriate care than an emergency room. From the center, health professionals can help patients find longer-term care. Check out the story on the rockbridgereport.wlu.edu website.
Kind Roots Cafe will soon be moving to North Main Street in downtown Lexington. The cafe opened 4 years ago inside the YMCA on Route 11 and has gained quite a following from local residents and travelers on I-64 and I-81. Cafe owner Jonathan Cummings said the new location will share the building with Lexington Coffee Roasters next to Taps. Cummings plans to begin renovations by January 1st and open this spring. A GoFundMe page is collecting donations to help with moving costs.
After the break, a local brewery is set to expand here in Rockbridge County and across the globe.
And in 2 minutes, local schools are lighting up the issue of sustainable energy and teaching by example. Parker Butler has the story. All that and more next on the Rockbridge Report.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Hi, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
He's on his way. He doesn't even know that we're here. Is he okay? Please tell me he's okay.
All right.
Okay, try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's down.
This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
Welcome back. Lexington City schools are looking to the sky for a way to teach students about sustainability. Reporter Parker Butler has the story.
Lilburn Downing Middle School has taken a major step to reduce its carbon footprint by becoming the first school in the Shenandoah Valley to install solar panels like these at Bark through its partnership with Secure Futures, a solar development company based in Stanton, Virginia. Lilburn Downing's new principal, Jason White, believes the panels are a great way to promote renewable energy.
It goes to show that no matter how big or how small of a school division you are, and that translates into real life, no matter how big a corporation, how small, you can make an impact on the environment.
Under a 20-year power purchase agreement, Secure Futures installs, owns, and operates the solar panels at the school, and then sells the generated power to Lilburn Downing. As a result, the school will obtain renewable solar energy with no capital investment cost, and the Lexington City School District will save over $3,000 annually. Lexington City Schools Superintendent Scott Jeffries says the monetary savings are just a small factor in what makes the solar project so special.
Speaks beyond how much you can actually save financially, more so than what kind of message it sends that you're actually trying to do something good for the environment.
The project will generate 25% of the annual electrical requirements for the middle school, but the project does more than just help the environment. It has the potential to promise students a future.
Really looking at, jobs and careers focusing on renewable energy, and if we can somehow, some way, start that dialogue and start that curriculum here at the middle school level, I think we're setting our kids up for success later on.
Although the panels began generating energy in mid-November, White said the school won't start implementing the study of renewable energy into its curriculum until August of next year.
The company will come and spend some time with their teachers, particularly our science teachers, to be able to use data that we receive through the solar panels and the amount of energy conservation that we receive through that to integrate it into our curriculum so that students understand a little bit more about solar energy.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Parker Butler.
Anyone can track the energy-saving data on the website provided by Secure Futures. Go to www.solarinview.com.
The world's tallest animals are in the process of a silent extinction. That's according to an international conservation group. The International Union for Conservation of Nature says wild giraffe populations has plunged dramatically over the last 30 years by up to 40%. Of 9 subspecies of giraffe, 5 are declining in numbers. The report found that there were just over 97,000 giraffes last year, compared to 163,000 in 1985. Giraffes are now rated as vulnerable on the official watch list of threatened and endangered species worldwide.
Recent showers and storms have slightly eased the South's severe drought, but experts say it wasn't enough to make up for months of dry conditions before the rain finally fell. Nearly the entire region remains abnormally dry, and experts say much more rain is needed before the drought can be declared over. So can we expect more rain here anytime soon, Ford?
Not for today, Rosella, but maybe Sunday night into Monday morning. In the meantime, it's going to be very cold. We're going to start this out with a live shot. Going to look out here, pretty windy, some pretty dry conditions. You're going to see very few leaves. Looking first at the almanac, you've got a high of 46 degrees and a low of 23. Your barometer's at 30.04, a pretty high wind speed, like I said, of about 9 miles an hour, and then a humidity of around 35. Around the region, we're going to start here in Roanoke around 45 degrees, eventually to Stanton at 42, Charlottesville at 47, and then Covington, as always, pretty low at 32 degrees, partly cloudy around the region. Looking at your satellite radar composite, weather system moving from west to east around Rockbridge County, and like I said, Sunday night, Monday morning, you're going to get that kind of coin flip 50% chance of maybe some rain, some snow. We'll see how low the temperatures get. And eventually to your 5-day forecast, going to start out at partly cloudy. Friday, 37 degrees is going to be your high, 17 for your low. Saturday is going to be your only totally sunny day of the 5, 38 degrees high. Sunday going to get a little bit warmer into 41 degrees and 32. Monday, like I said, that's going to be your potential rain, maybe some slush, high 47, low of 27. And then into Tuesday, you're partly cloudy at a high of 44. So winter conditions are officially here. In the meantime, back to you.
Thanks, Ford. Devil's Backbone Brewing Company plans to expand the Rockbridge tap room and build a storage warehouse nearby. The expansion is made possible by the company's sale last spring to the world's largest manufacturer of beer, Anheuser-Busch InBev. The Belgian-based brewer makes more than 200 brands, including Budweiser, Stella Artois, and Miller. New equipment will boost annual production to about 100,000 barrels this year. That's up more than 60% from last year. And for the company's 243 employees, including 113 in the Rockbridge County area, the sale means better health and retirement plans.
It's mating season for wildlife, so be wary of deer wandering onto local streets and potentially causing car crashes. Data taken from the Rockbridge County Sheriff's Department shows that there were 178 car accidents in the county from September to November. This is also the traditional hunting season in Virginia. The number of accidents jumped from 45 in September to 79 in November, in part because of run-ins with wildlife. The construction of Washington and Lee's new Upper Division Village took away a popular grazing spot for the deer, which caused them to relocate and cross busy highways and county streets. The Virginia Department of Transportation recommends slowing down when deer warning signs are in sight, using bright headlights when appropriate, and always wearing a seatbelt.
Coming up in 2 minutes on the Rockbridge Report, are you smarter than a high schooler? Reporter Ellen Kanziger will let you know.
And later, it's about that time for rocking around the Christmas tree.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. Do you know the purpose of the American Colonization Society back in 1850? If so, you might have done well at the Rockbridge Historical Society's inaugural History Bee Saturday morning. 7 high school students answered questions about local history for the chance to win $1,500 in cash. All of the questions were based on the book Remarkable Rockbridge by Charles Bodie. Check out rockbridgereport.wlu.edu to get the answer to the question and see who won.
With the end of the semester, fall sports are heading into playoffs and ending their seasons. And the Washington and Lee swimming teams are having a great season, aren't they, Rachel?
They are indeed, Rosella. In college sports news, Washington and Lee's men's and women's swimming are in first place as of now in the 2-day Randolph-Macon Invitational. The men's relay teams and first-year Allie McQueen led both teams to victory last Saturday. The men and women will dive back into the pool this Saturday at 9 a.m. for the final day of the Invitational. And collegeswimming.com announced yesterday that Washington and Lee men's and women's swimming are ranked in the top 25 for Division III swimming. Women's basketball took a hit on Saturday when they lost to Messiah after a strong start in the first half. Messiah then swept in to claim a 92-59 victory against the Generals. The team will not hit the court again until December 17th when they play Scranton. Men's basketball also faced a tough opponent on Saturday, as Methodist claimed a 73-54 victory. The Generals had the game tied with just 7 minutes left in the first half, but Methodist fired back with a strong second half to steal the game. The Jennies will return to action at the Daytona Beach Shootout on December 20th against Wesleyan University. Former VMI pitcher Connor Bach agreed to a deal with the Los Angeles Angels this week. Bach was a 2014 draft pick out of the Institute and pitched for 2 seasons with the Washington Nationals organization. In high school sports, Rockbridge County's boys varsity basketball team defeated Fort Defiance last week, 63-55 in their first game of the season. The Wildcats will take on Covington tonight at 5:30. But Fort Defiance defeated Rockbridge County girls basketball last night 47-38 in the Wildcats' second game of the season. That's all for today's sports update. Back to you, Rosella.
Thanks, Rachel. The Shenandoah Ballet in Buena Vista has been rehearsing for months to prepare for the area's only performance of the Nutcracker. Julia Gazelle has the story.
The Shenandoah Ballet started in 2012 as a nonprofit branch of the Shenandoah Academy of Dance. Its director, Missy Floyd, decided to separate the ballet from her for-profit academy so that she and her dancers could focus on one performance, Tchaikovsky's holiday favorite, the Nutcracker. There are about 751 professional Nutcracker productions across the United States every December.
It was the way every little ballet student should live their life, was through the Nutcracker.
Floyd and her dancers performed the Nutcracker for 2 years before she realized she needed more money and support. Profits from the Academy were not enough to fund a Nutcracker performance. Since parent donations and local fundraisers raised most of the money the ballet needed, the ballet was classified as a 501c3.
It worked. We made it work. Parents were very generous those 2 years. Costuming was kept very minimal, but through a lot of volunteer efforts. And so with the Shenandoah Ballet, it allowed us to expand a lot.
The Shenandoah Ballet is the smallest dance company in the area, and the only one with a Nutcracker performance. The other 2 companies teach more jazz, hip-hop, and modern dance. One of these studios has over 100 dancers. Floyd believes her focus on classical dance is the reason her ballet is the only Nutcracker in the area. Any of Floyd's 85 students in the academy can participate in the Nutcracker. Dancers range from 4-year-olds to a grandmother. 18-year-old Meta Himes says that keeping the studio small is what makes it great.
I love how personalized it is, and we get individual attention.
Tina McCann plays the Nutcracker role this year. She left the Los Angeles Ballet years ago, but has kept dancing in Buena Vista.
I hope everyone comes and see the Nutcracker. Put a lot of work into it.
The Shenandoah Ballet will perform the Nutcracker in the Lenfest Center for Performing Arts on December 15th, 16th, and 17th. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Julia Gazelle.
The Nutcracker performance will be at the historic Masonic Theater at 3 p.m. on December 11th. Tickets are available online at shenandoahballet.com.
That's all for our final edition of the Rockbridge Report this semester. We'll be back in January with your local coverage here in the Rockbridge area. Until then, keep up with us on our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu, and follow us on Twitter with @RockbridgeNews.
Coming up after the newscast, reporter Julia Gazelle sits down with Buena Vista businesswoman Sharon Fox to talk about holiday retail sales. And later, Maria Rachal gets the scoop from outgoing Lexington Mayor Mimi Elrod. Thanks for joining us, Rockbridge. Happy holidays.